The chairman of the Private Sector Commission, Norman McLean, commented on the discovery of oil by Exon Mobile and the Berbice Bridge Toll during his speech at the opening of the Berbice Expo. More details from Sasha Ramsran.
While delivering his address to those gathered at the opening of the 11th Annual Berbice Expo and Trade Fair, Major General retired Norman McLean touched on two pivotal issues that are currently ongoing in Guyana. He firstly expressed his wish to see the county of Berbice returned to its former pristine and immaculate state. He also made a comment regarding Exon Mobile's recent discovery of oil.
When I look out on this field, I am very happy to see it as clean as it is and as immaculate as it used to be when as a youngster I used to play cricket here, or when as president of the cricket board we brought the Australian cricket team and others here to play cricket. So I would like to see the whole entire county of Berbice and all of Guyana being as pristine as this ground is, so that when we come off the bridge and we come to this location or to the quarantine, we should not be seeing unsightly garbage and what have you everywhere. And this is part and parcel of what your theme said, fostering national pride. And that national pride was born when this government took power, and we remember the event when His Excellency, the President, made his first speech at Brigdam at our Independence Arch. And as you heard, 50 years is coming, but we have seen, if you looked at today's paper, Kaieteur News, there was a whole long line of garbage containers with garbage being cleaned at border. Let's take that to every part of this country and let us be proud and foster national pride in everything that we do throughout the length and breadth of this country. Exxon Mobile has announced the discovery of a large subsea petroleum well in Guyana's Stabroek block. And I am confident that we'll find more. You know, there was talk that Trinidad got oil, Venezuela got oil, Brazil got oil, they then jumped Guyana, and Suriname has oil, and they are in fact putting down a refinery as we speak. French Guyana has oil, so must he goat, must he bite we. Make we can't get oil, well we got it now. So there is this potential, but as I told you, we've had this before. We had in the Takatu Basin home oil, which started to produce in the Burnham era, and we had a big front page, oil is found in Guyana, and then it fizzled out. So don't let's get too excited. We in Guyana felt that the fiddle which the international community played on us when they didn't want us to find oil, as I told the people today, was because we in Guyana were arguing and saying that, you know, our oil reserves are lower and deeper than the rest. And if they found oil with us, we can drain the oil from Trinidad and from Venezuela, and so that's why they were holding back on Guyana's oil. But this is the good news for us.
He further went on to address the current controversial issue of the Berbice River Bridge.
The new government, in its manifesto, sought to reduce the bridge toll. After winning the elections, they sought to impose that reduction and provide a subsidy to the government for whatever loss they may have made by the fact of the reduction. Unfortunately, it seems that the deadline was made, and that deadline was September the 1st, and that was not honored. I think the bridge company wanted to consult with their shareholders before making a decision. It is an important bridge, in my view. The major issue has been the cost. And we have to bear in mind that whilst we can look at the operation of a ferry versus a bridge, it is a non-competitor, as you can cross at any time you wish and travel without hassle and with greater safety. A bridge does not provide this, a ferry does not provide the same means of travel. In terms of the cost, when we use the bridge, we paid both ways. We paid one way on the bridge. However, when we cross on the ferry, we pay both ways. So we have to take those things into account. On the water taxis, the Private Sector Commission has come out supporting the issue of water taxis. There's nothing wrong with that. In my view, the Demerara Harbour Bridge is 40 years old, and we've had ferries crossing from Breeden Hoop to Stabroek back and forth every day. There's absolutely no reason why we cannot have ferries between Blairmont and Rosignol and New Amsterdam. In my time as a young police officer here in Berbice, I in fact used what was a launch from Blairmont, and we used to come across, so nothing is wrong with that. I would only like to emphasize that we consider the issue of safety, especially for our children and the people who are traveling. So on that note, the problem seems to have been compounded by where the bridge is located. There's a feeling that it was located to deliberately bypass New Amsterdam. I hope that that is not the case. It's not something we can now deal with, but it certainly is a matter which is to be addressed by all concerned. We, in fact, in the Private Sector Commission, wish to recommend, A, that since the government wishes to reduce the toll, and B, the Berbice Bridge Company seems to agree with that reduction of toll, and they are claiming that if that happens, there must be an extension of the repayment time. That is fairly fair. What I don't agree with is that the Berbice Bridge Company claims that it will take 50 years to pay that, and that seems far-fetched in my view. So my own recommendation, the recommendation of the Private Sector Commission, is that the government and the Berbice River Bridge should negotiate new terms to establish what I call a win-win formula.
Mr. McLean concluded by emphasizing on the point that if the bridge company wishes to lower the current tolls and extend the repayment period, then no subsidy should be provided by the government of Guyana. Sasha Ramsaran reporting for Channel 8 News.